Hi, you guys. This is Renata. I wanted to share this very informative document that I found online. Many of you may have seen it already. I had not. It is on a website called Roger Brown, and it also mentions a person's name by the name of Lee Adams. And so I wanted to make sure I gave you the website before I begin. But it goes into the FBI and how they surveil people. It does not talk about targeted individuals per se or stalking per se. Well, it may mention stalking, I can't remember. Um, but it goes into how they surveil you and how they break up into teams and things like that. It really resonated with me because I believe that the government is behind the targeting. Now, some people don't believe that, but I believe that, especially because of how structured and organized it is. Particularly, I believe that this whole stalking portion of targeting is COINTELPRO 2.0 with more technology behind it. That's my own personal feelings. I don't know if everybody feels that way. But this document talks about the FBI and how to beat the FBI, and it goes into again how everything is organized and the different teams and what the roles are for the different players involved. And so I just found that it was really very informative. I read through it twice. Um, and I wanted to share this with you guys because the Bible tells us in all our getting to get understanding. And it doesn't mean that we don't understand because this is our real life, and so we do have a certain amount of understanding of everything that's going on with the targeting. However, the more information we can get, especially from a credible source, the more we can move forward. And this document even talks about counter surveillance and how we can kind of go around some of the tactics. Okay. So the last thing I want to say before I get into the document is that it is kind of a lengthy document. So I'll probably break this up in more than one video. We'll just see how it goes. Okay. All right. So, okay. So it starts out by saying, beat the FBI. At best, the FBI does not have a history of respect for civil rights. Whether you are guilty or innocent doesn't matter. You are always treated the same during an FBI investigation, which is unfairly, especially if surveillance is involved. If you snooze, you lose. It's that simple. Many of us are sleepwalking through life, and if you don't pay attention, then you're going to pay, especially if you engage in behavior that attracts the attention of the FBI. Now, let me just give my little commentary along the way here. Um, Now, where it says that, that it talks about engaging in behavior that attracts the attention of the FBI, I would hope that all targeted individuals know that you should not be indulging in any kind of suspicious behavior because we are under a microscope. And the thing about the FBI is that the FBI will follow you for years and years and years before they bust you. Okay. And this document is also going to go into the fact that because you don't see them doesn't mean that they're not there. So please be careful with any type of risky behavior because you are being watched. If you're a targeted individual, you're constantly being watched around the clock, even in your own home. And I think most of us know that. Okay. So it goes on to say, if you snooze, you lose. It's that simple. Many of us are sleepwalking through life, and if you don't pay attention, then you're going to pay. Oh, I read that already. I'm sorry, you guys. Especially if you engage in behavior that attracts the attention of the FBI. Make no mistakes about it. FBI surveillance teams are lethal. They are very effective at what they do. They have had lots of experience. They've got massive resources. In a major investigation, 30 agents watching one person is commonplace. Now, That's why I say, the structure, and as we go on, you'll see more of the structure. But even in the beginning of this, they're saying how 30 agents can be on one person. Like, that's not uncommon. I don't know about you guys, and I don't think for my targeting, I don't think that they're actual FBI agents. I mean, there probably are a few in there. But the stalkers. Some people call them gang stalkers or whatever. Okay, so they're out there. And as this document says, it is not uncommon for 30 stalkers to be on one person, at least at my targeting. Okay, so it says that's commonplace to have 30 people on one person. You never see the same agent twice. Well, I have to say, sometimes I do see the same person more than once. You never see the same vehicle twice. The FBI's triple threat surveillance strategy of multi-layered teams, rapid response, and managed aggression must be taken seriously. The most deadly of the three is the multi-layered team. Okay, so the three teams that they mentioned that the FBI uses to surveil a person is multi-layered teams, rapid response, and managed aggression. And I think it's important to note that the roles of these different teams, so you know who you're dealing with in your targeting, okay, and which one is active at what particular time. Okay, so it says the most deadly of the three teams that I just mentioned is the multi-layered team. Okay, so then it says threat number one: a multi-layered team can fool you into thinking that the surveillance has ended. This is an extremely dangerous situation. They're still lurking nearby, of course, waiting for you to say or do something incriminating. Okay, that goes back to those risky behaviors. Be careful, okay, because they're watching. And as they say, this is the most deadly of the team's surveillance strategies that they have out there is this multi-layered team, because you think it's over. Now, I've talked to several TIs who have said that their targeting has stopped. And it may have. It may have. However, this article is saying that they'll fool you into thinking that it's over. And really what they're doing is they're giving you rope to hang yourself. Okay? Because remember, all of this is about setting you up to try to get you in one of their institutions or to get you to commit suicide. Okay, threat number two. A same-day response by the FBI means that surveillance might begin before you're ready for it. They'll catch you unprepared. The FBI surveillance team may end up watching you trying to hide the very material that you're hoping to conceal from them. Okay, so you think you're hiding something, they're watching you hide it. Okay, threat number three. The FBI's policy of managed aggression can easily provoke you into losing your temper or your nerve or both. It's a wicked strategy. That's why they use it. Okay, so basically what they're describing is provocation. And to provoke the target is a major tactic. And anybody who gets to stalking knows that. It is a major thing that they do is they try to provoke you with all these little perp activities that they do. Okay, they put a lot of energy into try to bring the target to an angry response so that they can get them to go off and go over the edge. Okay, it's easy to see why most people are easy prey for the FBI surveillance machine, but it doesn't need to be that way. Okay, then it goes into beating the FBI. There are people who routinely thwart the FBI. They know how to recognize the telltale signature of an FBI surveillance team. When they find themselves under surveillance, they use tactics that inhibit the FBI's ability to find out what they're really doing. They mislead the FBI. These individuals make it difficult for the FBI to build a legitimate case against them. Perhaps even more important, they make it difficult for the FBI to build a phony case against them. Now, we all know as targeted individuals that they are constantly setting traps for the target. So it's important not to fall into the traps because, as this document is saying, that, they're always trying to build a case against you, even if it's a phony case. And you have to know that they have these teams, which this document is going to go into a little bit more. They have these teams out there taking notes, reporting back, just trying to build anything because you're the enemy. And I hate to put it that way, but it's true. An individual like this is called a hard target. That's spy talk for a surveillance target who knows what he's doing. Okay, so we all want to become hard targets, okay, not soft targets. The methods and techniques that these individuals use are called counter surveillance. This article reveals some of those methods and techniques. Simply put, the article you are reading is about counter surveillance methods that will beat the FBI. Okay. This article is comprised of two parts. The first section deals with FBI general strategy. You'll learn about the structure and underlying principles of FBI surveillance. They've been at this game for many years and they've learned many lessons. The second section of this article deals with specific tactics of FBI surveillance teams. A case study is utilized to explain and illustrate FBI behavior. It is based on direct experience and on information from confidential sources. Okay, so what you need to know about the FBI. They are masters of the game. If you have something to hide, FBI surveillance could be the beginning of the end for you. Do not make the mistake of underestimating the capabilities of an FBI surveillance team. They are persistent. They are methodical, they are thorough, and they are fanatical about their work. Now remember I said in the beginning that the FBI will wait you out. Oh, they have people under surveillance for years, many years, 10, 15, 20 years. They'll wait you out because they want whatever they stick you with to stick. They want to make sure that you're going down. And it's really sad in the case of a targeted individual because most targeted individuals are innocent, have not done anything. But as this article said, they will put something phony on you. Okay, they set these traps and wait for you to walk into them. Drawing from decades of experience, FBI surveillance strategy has evolved into an advanced system that exploits the classic military principles of space, time, and force. This strategic foundation is present in every major surveillance operation run by the FBI. This foundation relies on the three pillars of rapid response, multi-layered teams, and managed aggression. While each of these is a serious threat to the target of a surveillance operation, the most deadly of the three is the multi-layered team. There is more to multi-layered teams than we cover in this article. The FBI often uses surveillance as an end in itself, as a method for suppressing dissident, criticism, and activism. Nothing is more effective than letting the target know that he's under surveillance. Fear is a powerful tool. And this is all fear-based, you guys. This is all fear-based. And as they said, they try to suppress dissidents, anybody who offers criticism, probably to the government. It didn't say that. Activists, these are some of the people that they're after. Okay. All right, the multi-layered teams, and again, this is the one that they consider to be the most deadly. The FBI's deployment strategy is insidious and conniving, yet brilliant. Because of the manner in which FBI agents are deployed, it is almost impossible to catch the FBI unaware during a surveillance operation. They always have a fallback position. This is called the strategy of surveillance in depth. Here's how it works. For most surveillance operations, the FBI actually puts two teams in the field. Okay? And actually, I think I'm going to stop right here because I'm almost at 15 minutes. So I'll pick it up. On part 2, I'll probably back up to the beginning of learning the basics. Okay? I just don't want to make these videos so long. So I'm going to stop right here and then we'll do a part 2. Okay?